There was a time I was frustrated. I didn't have a job and I was frustrated and I just prayed. I said, God, give me an idea that will change my life. And I think God helped me discover my purpose. I would say follow your passion and then try to make a career out of it. Because I think if you follow your passion and you do what you love, you have the energy for it each and every day.
Flo, thank you so much for coming, and I really appreciate your presence there.
Thank you for having me.
Wow, and you are
Yes.
looking good, by the way. So I,
Thank you.
I always start with this question:
Mm.
What is your LS? Because you are now the biggest brand, considering you're following on YouTube, on Facebook, and the things that you are doing amazing. So, what is your earliest childhood memory that you think has defined the person you are today?
I think I remember when I used to love clothes a lot. I used to get in trouble with my mom when I would, every time I would dress and wear my clothes, I would go back inside the house and then change after an hour or so. So I think those are like the memories that I have that have shaped me up to be the stylist that I am today because I used to love clothes so much. Mm.
How old were you then?
I was in primary school. I think my grade 4 or 5. Gogo. So that's when I realized I really loved clothes so much. But at that time, it used to be seen as muskanzwa. You are changing. Urunotora hembe, dzisadza svibo chinja. But I think that was the stylist in me that was really, starting to grow.
All right. What sparked your passion for style or you for fashion
Mm.
as a whole, and how did you turn that into a career?
Okay, I think I just loved the idea of looking good because I realized people are drawn to people who look good. When you look good, everyone wants to talk to you, everyone wants to be friends with you. People want to be associated with you. I always say the way you dress is like your packaging. Before you speak, before you open your mouth, this is what we see. So I believe when you look good, people want to be associated with you, and it opens doors for you. There's some people who get jobs just because they look nice, just because you look the part. So I think that sparked my passion for clothing, and I then channeled that into coming up with a career for myself because now I help so many women to build their image. I help them with how to dress with their different body types. Yeah, that's how I have done it.
Well, you have raised an important point on that, that your clothes is your first skin. People will
Yes,
judge you
exactly.
on that basis.
Yes.
All right, let me take you back to your background.
Mm.
Which schools did you go to?
Okay, I went to Gillingham Primary School, which is in Zaresekwa, and then I went on to St. John's Emerald Deal for my high school, and then I went to Chino University of Technology
Mm.
for my tertiary
Or
education.
what did you study there?
I did creative art and design,
Mm.
yes, and I specialized in advertising.
All right,
Mm.
but is it something that you always wanted to do or make choose? Of course, the university a there's this zvavanoita zvodonzo unongonzi list your programs akuendera
Mm.
nemapoints ako ende vozokuchuzira between
Yeah.
our list. Was it that case to you?
Well, in for me, I was looking for something that was not too serious, or should I say, I wanted something chinekuita ne kuva creative. So when I went to Chinoi to cut, and I was looking for a program, I asked them, they have my programs now, and then they listed them. And then creative art and design sounded like something I really wanted to do because it included being creative and jengene my arts, and that's what I had always wanted. I never pictured myself doing accounts or being Munwe business studies, or I just wanted to have something Jaguti I could be creative and just be myself because I'd always been like that.
All right, why creative?
Creative. Because I believe I've always been artsy. I've always been someone who loves involve kuva creative. I don't like being in a box. I like being different. Even when I was doing my program, when I went for my attachment, what I love about the program that I did, I also did graphic designing. And if you have noticed, my graphic designers, they're different. They're not,
It's
yeah, they're not too formal. And I think, yeah, that's what I loved about it.
Also, you're a graphic designer, so
I'm
you
a
do
graphic
everything.
designer, yes.
Or maybe for the sake of everyone in us, what do you do except the fashion side?
Okay, I'm a graphic designer and also I'm into advertising. Although now, because I've become Flo the stylist, I'm more on the stylist side. I've neglected the other
The
side,
other side.
yes, because I think now I've found my ground. This is where I enjoy, doing what I do. Graphic designing, yes, because it includes being creative and just being, you know, doing things that are out of the box. But now, I wanna feel Diango. I love clothes. I love anything that speaks fashion and beauty. Mm.
All right. Did you start to become a stylist, or where did you get that knowledge?
Funny enough, I never studied anything that has to do with being a fashion stylist. At CUT, there was a program, yeah, fashion. I don't really remember Tenzichi, the program, but for the program that I did, we had a module, a fashion designing, and I realized I was so excited about it.
The rest is history.
Yes.
My next question is, let me express it like this.
Mm.
Um, Dr. Gramatuno,
Yeah.
I'm sure you know about him.
Mm-hmm.
He always said, he talk about the consequences of wearing weaves, about imitating the white people
Mm.
because they have flourish hair and
Mm.
other things. What's your take on that?
Well, I say there's so many reasons why different women wear these things. For some women, they have alopecia.
Mm.
So for someone anenga nema patches are bold, they don't feel comfortable. For some women, they don't feel comfortable. They end up opting for the wigs. So it's not always that you're trying to be, varungo, or you're trying to be a white person. For some people, it's for genuine reasons like those, and then for some, it's because they just feel pretty when they, yes.
All right.
It's not that they are not confident um with their natural selves. This is also an issue even panya makeup. There are people who say, "Why do you wear makeup?" When you wear makeup, it means you're not confident with yourself. I'm a confident woman, but I love makeup because it
Mm.
makes me feel good. I'm confident with both. I can be natural. I can have makeup, and I can just say sometimes it's all about just feeling good. Someone just chooses to do that because it makes them feel good, and I think that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, unless it's something that's threatening to your health. Then yes, we can say this is not good for you. But as a woman, speaking on behalf of other women who feel good in their weaves and their makeup, I just say sometimes it's all about you know you just like it better that way. Yes.
All right, but from a stylist perspective,
Mm.
what's your take on bleaching skin
On
or
bleaching
lightening
skin.
creams?
I get a lot of messages from women vanenge vazobleacha and then their skin yatokanganisika. You know, I just say if you're going to lighten your skin, make sure you get the proper products that are not harmful, to your skin or to your health. If you're going to do it proper. Because usually vanhu pavanoita mashortcut, it doesn't end well. And I think dopanozoita kuti the whole thing zvinzi zvakaipa because pane vamwe vanozoposta ane skin yaita red or ane mapatches akasiyana siyana. So I think if you're going to do it proper. Because I think I'm that person who's just open to things. I just believe if it makes you feel good, life is too short. Go for
Do
it, but make sure you do it really proper. You
What's
know,
the proper way?
if you're going to get the products, pane mamwe ma products ari anenge akanyatsotestwa ekuti if you use them, they're not going to harm your skin. They're not going to be harmful. They're just going to work zvakanaka. I think problem starts when you use shortcut. Zvekuti zvinozokuvadza. Mm.
All right. So you're okay with everything bleaching. It's okay, but it's
I
done
would
in
say
a
I'm
proper
okay
way.
with skin lightening. Yes, there are people who lighten their skin because there's a difference. There are people who lighten, there are people who whiten their skin, and then there are people who brighten their skin. So if I'm just brightening, it's just maybe bringing out ka glow, because you could be dark, but what could brighten, who can go bring out ka glow. Because someone totally you want to be white, from being black to white. That one I think it's a bit extreme. Over nanonga chizoisa more blood, kutobaiwa kuti munhu abva anyatsoita white. I think to me that's a bit scary and it's a bit risky. But if it's about just bringing out glowing, just brightening or lightening, I think it's fine.
All right. I remember one day you told me that you once worked at Class 6263. When was that and what were you doing?
It was in 2018. I was a radio presenter, stroke producer. Yes.
How did you get there?
They did some auditions and they were looking for my new presenters, and I happened to be part of the people that they took in. Yes.
So why did you left?
I left in, I think it was 2019. I left in 2019. It was a bit, I think it's because of what was happening in my personal life that time. The job was demanding, when you're a radio presenter, and when you're starting out, they give you the midnight shifts. You'll be doing midnight shifts. So for me, panipanga pasir ku balance with my personal life, and I had to leave, unfortunately, because I started as a producer presenter, and then I started doing their social media because of the program that I have, the creative art and design. I started doing graphics for the station and also doing their social media. And then I finally left because there were just things that were not balancing out. It was just too much pressure, and then I had to leave.
But what are those things?
The personal, I didn't have time with my family. Yes. So I just thought it was now becoming a bit difficult balancing the two. So I had to choose, and unfortunately I had to choose. And I had to choose family over work. Yes.
Right, so you mentioned that you was doing the social media part. So is it where you get the information or the knowledge to build your brand?
To some extent, I think it trained me, especially panyaye professionalism. Because, as a radio station, you can't just post anything. And I think it trained me. It really trained me. But also, I had always I loved social media and, just starting my conversations and everything. So I believe it was in me, but the job at the radio station also really helped me to become the person I am today, because I had to learn professionalism. Like now, I'm now applying it per page pangu. You get so many different opinions, but you just have to maintain your composure and not be, and not fight with your followers or to scold them. So yeah, it helped me.
All right, how did you manage to build such a big brand?
I would say, firstly, I just want to say it was God, honestly, because when I started that page, I prayed for an idea that would change my life. There was a time I was frustrated. I didn't have a job, and I was frustrated, and I just prayed. I said, God, give me an idea that will change my life. And I think God helped me discover my purpose. Yeah, I had it in me, but I think after that prayer, it then was ignited. And then the other thing is being authentic. That's what I realized. If you are authentic, people will fall in love with what you do. I think it's the content that I was putting out there. People were relating to the topics that I was sharing. And yeah, that's when people started following me, because I didn't sponsor my page. People just started following as they were watching my videos. They were saying, give us more, they were enjoying the content. So I really believe it was, being authentic, just being yourself. Yeah, people loved that because they were relating to the person I was being.
All right, yeah, there are a lot of women who look up to you. So I want to go to Flo's page and learn something. I want to do this. I want to do this. But what's your advice to someone out there who is jobless, who don't know where to start?
I would say follow your passion and then try to make a career out of it. Because I think if you follow your passion and you do what you love, you have the energy for it each and every day. And especially when you're excited about what you're doing, you try to think of ideas. Like, I just started sharing JMB. talking about how you should dress, but then it turned into a career because now I was helping out other women. Like now I help different women with their shopping. I shop for people. I I do my consultation where they pay. So your passion can actually help you. Ask yourself, what is it that I love? What is it that makes me happy? Or what is it chekuti ndikamuka makuseni I won't get tired of doing? And follow that. And then see what you can do with that to, to create a career. Like let's say you love cooking. You can then maybe start by cooking at a family function. Next thing, everyone's saying, you cooked really well. Next thing, maybe your aunt is hosting a birthday party. You can say, Tibiki bigger last time, because you love what you do and you're good at what you do. Next thing, my referrals are to and anobika. Next thing, you have a catering company.
There are certain people who don't know what to do. They
Who are
say, I
clueless.
don't know.
Hey, I think now it begins with discovering yourself. Uri ani, ndiwe
How
ani.
do you do that?
Kutozvibvunza, kutogara utovhunza kuti who am I? Because I know with women, especially with different experiences, you end up losing yourself. Some are in abusive marriages. They have abusive men who tell them kuti pamwe unogara uchiudzwa kuti hapana chaunogona, and you start believing that. So you have to sit down and ask yourself, ndimbori ani? What am I good at? What do I love? And then as you ask yourself those questions, you start building from there. Okay, what is it that I want to do? What is it that I want to achieve? And then you build from there, builder, and then I think you discover what you want to do from there.
But yes, from your own experience, how long does it take to you?
It might take time. For me, it took time because I think I was frustrated for kind of 2 to 3 years. Then I also discover what I wanted to do. But that zeal, I knew I wasn't born to just be an average person. And I think I always had that nudge, you have to do something. You have to do something. So it takes a bit of time, but if you're patient and then kind of what discover what you want to do and you work on it, trust me, that's where the magic starts. Like like what I said, which I was home, I didn't have a job, but something in me kept telling me, Flo, you have to do something. You're not this person anogarari mumba. Achingo bika, achingo chaira. Think of something. What is it that you want to do? And then, like what I said with prayer, it also really helped me to discover what
With what you want to
yeah, yeah.
Okay, but a lot of people will be like, I don't. Even if you ask them, who am I? What do you want to do?
Yeah.
They don't know. No answers will come.
Uh,
So maybe we say they should go to for some prayers, or
they should maybe now engage someone else to help them. If it's difficult to figure out who they want, then maybe you need someone to talk to who will help you to discover that thing that you need to start doing. You can talk to someone. The other thing is you can ask even the people around you, guys, what is it that you think I should do? Oh, you're a good speaker. Oh, you're a good singer. We love your cooking. And then from there, because when they are, I feel like if you ask vanwara around you, you can ask people, what do you think about me? What do you think I should do? Or what do you think I'm good at? And then from there, you take it from there. Because these are the people who look at you, they see what you do, and they've been around you. They can tell you, my events is your thing. You see how you run around, but my function, and then from there, you then have a bit of direction. Okay, maybe I should consider doing events. Maybe I should be an events planner. Yeah. So you can ask people around. You can you can then ask people around you, what do you think I should do?
But how long does it take for you to build such a big brand?
It takes a bit of time, but if you're consistent, And like I said, if you're authentic, especially now, nenye social media, if you're doing well, it's easy for things to move because if 20 people share your video because they like it, they're now like 500 people. So you just need to be consistent and stay true to how you started. Because with me, when I started, I was doing my videos, very relatable and everything. And along the way, there will be people who will come and tell you, no, why are you doing this? Like Inina used to share um, about my tips, my thrifts, my pre-loved clothes, bear. And then there are people who came along the way telling me, no, I think it's not classy. Don't talk about my bear and everything. But there are people who fell in love with me because I was talking about that. So you have to stay true to yourself and you have to know why you started and stick to that. Because there are people who fell in love with you because of how you started. And you have to stick to that. Because if you're not careful, whichever Buddha more trek, and then you lose the people. Vanhu will see, she has changed. Flo akatanga achimbotipa matips evane mari nevasina mari, but now she's all about, the elite. She's no longer talking about it. So vasina mari kutotipa matips. So you lose people. So you just need to be consistent and then stay true to zvawakatanga uri chaizvo. You will grow.
All right. So I can say you are a fashion content creator, but do you think if someone can make a career out of content creation?
Yes, definitely. Especially if you are to monetize your pages. I think you've seen there's so many examples of people who are making money through social media, getting paid for the content that you share. And also, like what I'm doing now, I'm now helping different women. I go for shopping with them. Kutongonoudza munhu kuti tenga ichi ndo chiri kukufita, tenga ichi ndo chichapinda pakati, and they pay for that. So you can actually start making a living out of it, out of the content creation. It started as content creation. It just started as a passion that turned into content creation, and then now it has become more like a business, I must say.
Well, but did you monetize your page?
I haven't, unfortunately, because I'm still working on it. Because as you know, our country is not eligible for monetization, so you have to find ways to go about it, and I'm still trying to work on it.
But I think it's 3 months back or so. Facebook looked us out. Everyone was like, hey, my careers are kupera. But do you think your content creation is sustainable?
Well, ndona kunge, like what you're saying, kuti pakazoitika something like that, you have to have a backup. I think, especially when you still have the hype, when you have people's attention, urukupisa, make sure you then set up something background. You need something on the ground. Like now, if I'm to open a clothing shop, if I'm to start a proper, that's on a consultancy, like an image consultancy and everything, that way, if anything happens to Facebook, if anything happens to the social media pages, at least I've set something background. People know we can no longer find Flo on social media, but I know where Flo's offices are. I know where her shop is. So I think the best thing is make sure you set up something on the ground. Don't always just rely on the online thing.
Let's talk about those who are into acting, skits making. How do they do that? Because everything is content creation, and they depend on Facebook and YouTube and other social platforms. Let's say you need access. So how do you build such a brand also people will keep on following you?
If you have something that relies on just being online, then maybe unongwa kutofunga something else. Chisiri ijojo. Let's say you are into skits, but you then open a furniture store or like just a business, whatever you'll fall back on. Yes, it doesn't necessarily mean okay, but like, are you saying kuti zita rinovhara tofa?
To my thinking, yes, because if we are if Facebook and on the far, let's say also in Zimbabwe, we can't access Facebook and YouTube. A lot of careers and
Yeah, unfortunately, sadly, there are a lot of names and brands that will just vanish. But I think if you work on doing something on the ground, whether it's along what you do online or it's something totally different, at least that's something.
But yeah, so this might help someone who said, I just want to do content creation. I don't want to go to school. Because I
Yeah.
was like, give me a pack up on TikTok. I was like, hey, the biggest
Yeah.
TikTokers who say I earn such an amount and be like, come on. All right,
Yeah.
let's move on. What challenges have you faced as a woman in fashion industry?
The challenges. For me, the challenge that I've mainly faced is pressure, like pressure from followers. Because I think people think you are a Facebook person 24/7 and they expect you to respond to them immediately. Um, so that has been a challenge because you then have to explain to people to know, besides being a stylist, I'm also someone who has to do something elsewhere. I have responsibilities. I have to sweep my house. I have to wash clothes, just like everyone else. So people think because you have a page, they just think you're always available for them. That's the challenge I faced. But at least I explained to people, no, I'm not available, but I can be available pakati. They understand. But for me, that has mainly been a challenge. I thank God I haven't really faced challenge negativity because I think I've tried to stay in my lane. I don't claim to know everything. And I realize people just want someone who is someone annotated. They don't want you to be a know-it-all, and they just want someone who's nice. People don't like it when you're rude. People don't like it when you don't treat them well, especially per platform. Rekuti follower. And as much as you're doing something that they love, you just have to stay in your lane and just know why you're on Facebook and stick to that. Don't fight. Don't be a know-it-all. And I thank God that has really helped me to block off any negativity that anyone might think of, throwing
But,
at me.
all right, but how to break that habit of I know it all? Because most of people, some of the people, especially those who grew up in the ghettos, there's a lot of pride there. I know it. You can't teach me this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think you just have to tell yourself that I don't know it all. Because when people follow you, because pane zvavari kuda kuziva, the knowledge that you share, the information that you share, you assume these people. I think mistake inoita vakawanda is they assume that these people don't know. Just because they're following you and they're saying, Flo, help us. It doesn't mean avaziva nevavo. Vamwe they know. They just want to confirm kuti ndizvo here zvandakamboverenga somewhere chichi. The same places and andinowana information are the same places that they also find information. So I think you have to tell yourself kuti hauzive zvese, and the people that are following you are not that empty. There are people who even know better than me vanenge vatoripo, and they just follow because maybe they like the vibe page papo and the conversations. So you just have to tell yourself, but okay, I help people, but I'm not like the only one who knows this. And you just have to break yourself and accept uponogadziriswa nevanhu.
All right. Can you share a memorable experience with a client or a follower?
With a client or a follower.
Since you said you help them to go shopping, choose this one, do this. Any memorable experience?
Yes, there's this lady who once came to me. She wanted us to go shopping for her job interview. She was applying for a very big post, like something like you're going to apply to be. What was the position? I don't remember but it was big. And it was memorable because I felt like, wow, I had a task. She had to look the part. And I felt like what I said, your clothes are your packaging. And I knew when she gets into that interview, what the people were going to see first was the clothes. So it was memorable. We had a great time and we chose, yeah, I think that was one memorable experience for me. It was a big task for me. but we delivered.
All right, looking back at your journey of content creation of fashion, what is the most thing that you are proud of?
Um, Looking at me being FloTheStylist, the period I've been, I'm proud of everything that I've done, actually. What makes me proud is, I used to be someone who was just like what I said, I was at home, frustrated with no job, and just getting from that to now being a stylist, uh, whom people come to for advice. Because sometimes the people will come to me asking me, "Guti, can you give me advice? What should I do here? What should I wear?" I feel humbled because for me it feels like, wow, I was just that person who was at home, with nothing to do. And there were times when I was not even confident with the person I was. And now I'm helping so many women. And I humbly say this, I've helped thousands of women through that platform, whether online, especially online, most of them being online. And they are from different countries. Sometimes you get foreigners from different countries saying, "I love your content, you've helped me." So for me, that makes me proud, honestly. That really makes me proud.
All right, but how do you stay motivated and inspired in your work, especially considering that you've been through tough times, jobless, etc.
It's the testimonials that I get, from the women that I help, or from just women who are just appreciating what I do. It keeps me motivated, and I feel like, wow, there are people who are looking at me, and I am touching lives with what I do, and that keeps me motivated. Even whenever I feel like I'm getting tired, I just feel like, no, you can't, you can't stop, because there are ladies who are waiting for you saying, "Help me." And also, especially the ladies who come in my inbox with different stories. There are people who come with deep stories that are touching. And some of them, they come and they tell me, "Flo, thank you so much. You helped me. I was down. I didn't have confidence. But now, just following your teachings, I'm now a confident woman. Things have changed. Now people actually give me compliments when I'm walking in the streets." So that keeps me really motivated. I feel like I can't stop. I should just keep doing this work.
All right. Let's go back to Facebook again. I want to know, since our country is not eligible to monetize Facebook, how are you managing it financially?
It's the sessions that I'm now doing, shopping for people, or doing the consultation, and also, yes, advertising for brands. That has really kept me cushioned. Yes.
But I've been talking to many content creators who have a huge following, but it's hard for them to get corporates, to get adverts. But from you, how do you manage to get?
For me, I think it's because I have a niche. I've stuck to what I started with. People know when you talk about FloTheStylist, it's clothes. So now, especially businesses that sell clothes, they now know that if you want results, you should advertise with Flo, because the people who follow me are on that page because they love clothes. So if I'm to post clothes, it makes sense for me to post clothes because I talk about clothes. So whenever I post something, they're like, "Oh, that's what she should be talking about. I want that blazer." That's the one Flo was saying. It's a wardrobe essential. You cannot be a lady that doesn't have a blazer in her closet. So automatically, that draws people to come and advertise with me, because they know Guti, if I to advertise clothes in a Flo, they're going to be like, people are going to buy those clothes because this is what she talks about, this is what she teaches about. It's like if you are to advertise the or if you were to advertise rice on a page, on a chef's page, it makes sense, because this chef knows what's good, or they tell you iri rice iri ndori inoyatsoita kuti ribude rima 1-1. It's the same thing with me. If I'm to advertise for certain brands, they know per Flo, if I want to sell my hair, it makes sense because people follow Flo for the advice that she gives. And if Flo says this looks nice, all the other women will just say, okay, I think, yeah, if Flo puts that stamp, this is nice, they'll want to buy it.
All right. Before we close, because our time is not on our side. Before we close, I want to understand something because a lot of people are not working in the fields that they were trained to do in our traditional education system. But as of you, do you think your education system should be transformed to accommodate certain aspects, or to be digitalized, or something to be improved, or do you think it's okay as it is?
I think there are things that should be introduced, especially now as you can see everything has gone digital. I was talking about it the other day with a friend of mine saying, even now, people don't really go mutown. Zvataita kare kufamba mutown kuti ndakunotsvaga hembe. Munhu goes online and they search for what they want and they just go straight to the shop, or vanototenga online zvotonzwa kumba nemabhaika. So I think especially going digital is the way to go. And I remember when I went to university, ndokwandakatotangira kunyatsoshandisa laptop. But now is different. I think laptop inofanira kutotanga kushandiswa kuprimary chaiko. But before it was laptop waizoitengerwa kutoenda kuuniversity. So I think, yeah, there are a lot of things that should be incorporated, especially going digital. Things like getting used to social media, making use of it, even for our businesses, Chayo. Yes. And, yeah, I think, yeah.
All right. So now I want to put you on the corner. I want you to look at this camera, this one, and read a 1 minute later that you would write to an 18-year-old Florence.
Okay. Dear Flo, you have always been great, but you have always doubted yourself. I just want to tell you that you are the person that you feel you are. There are times when you feel like you're not enough. There are times when you're hesitating. But I just want to tell you that you are that girl. And you have this talent in you that you should use fully. You have this nature that just invites people and that's comforting, and use that fully. Do not hold back. Yes, I would like to tell you, do not hold back. Go for it. You're amazing. You're a force. You're beautiful. You are amazing. Yes.
Wow. It's a powerful message. All right. So before we close, I want to ask you 5 fun questions, then we'll be done.
Okay.
All right. So my first question is, what is the most rebellious thing you ever did as a teenager?
Not in this form. What did I ever do? So I wanted to go on a road trip with my friends, and then my mom, but I decided to just go like a teaser, and we went. But I left Kumba without even hembe dzekuchinja, and I had to get clothes from my friend. Yes, I think that was the most rebellious. We went away for the weekend.
The whole weekend?
The whole weekend. And those were not zoga.
All right. What is the best and the worst advice you ever received? Let's start with the best.
The best advice. The best advice that I've ever received is stay humble, stay kind. Because if you're humble, people respect people who are humble. People like people who are humble, and people, like people who are kind. Yes. And I've stuck to that. That has really helped me in my career. And then the worst advice. I can't think of any now. I can't think of any. Worst advice. I'll think about it. Sorry, this was just random.
All right. So let's move on to the next question. If you could use one emoji for the rest of your life, which one would it be?
The heart one. I use it a lot. I use it a lot. When I talk to someone, I say thank you. Sometimes I then not also okay, you can't put a heart for this person. It just seems weird, but
All right.
yeah, I use the heart emoji a lot because I love to spread love.
That's amazing. All right. So, if you could change or if you could rewrite your life story, which part would you rewrite?
Um, the which one would I rewrite? I think I would start earlier. Shandakuita now. Yes.
Or
Yeah, I wish I had started it when I was actually still in school. Mhm.
high school or university?
University especially, because in VA people used to like my style, but I never took it really serious. I just thought I love clothes. But if I had started being a stylist then, I think I don't know where I would be today.
What were you doing?
What was I doing?
When people liked your style, what were you doing with?
I was just thinking it's clothes. I just
Oh,
love clothes. Yeah. People would say, oh, you know, we love your clothes, we love your style. Because I was that person who would dress up going for my lectures. I never dressed like a student. And I never liked kubereka my backpack, my satchel. I never liked that. I used to have like a side. I was just someone who loved style and fashion. So I would rewrite that part. I think I would start early then.
what is the most embarrassing thing you ever done in front of a crush?
I don't remember the last time I had a crush.
Don't,
So
tell me you don't have.
the most embarrassing thing it was not a crush. I was in a relationship, and I was using. Okay, it was not in front. Let me just say this is the most embarrassing thing I always think about. He gave me his phone. I went with it away, and I was taking these pictures. But this place, I guess, it was bad, bad. And this guy was like a classic guy. So I was taking pictures, and then the one that deleted. Little did I know my pictures if iPhone that time. But I ended up not recycle bin. So when I learned with my pictures and in the recycle bin, I was shattered because okay, so all those pictures Achamaona. And even now when I think about it, I feel so embarrassed because those pictures and where I was, it was so bad.
Well, if you could make a one universal law, which one would it be?
Universal law that I would make. Mm, yeah. You? That's a difficult one.
A law that everyone must follow.
um, that it's a crime to not dress well. Because there are people who just don't care about how they look. And because it's not a crime, they just, go however, whether it work,
Not
whether...
film Jerry.
I think I would make that a look. Just always put some effort. Mhm.
All right, so now before you close, we want to play a game. I'm going to give you a color. Then you will give me also listen at black or what we will prefer it a hat or shoes or
Okay.
it's like something like that.
Okay.
All right. Red,
Blazer,
blue,
t-shirt,
white,
a suit,
orange,
a maxi dress,
beige.
a matching set, a twin set, like a casual twin set.
I'm running out of colors, but anyway, thank you so much for coming. I really
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
it.
Thank you for having me. I had a great time here.
All right, but what's next for Flo the Stylist? It may be in the next 5 years or so.
I really want to grow the brand and to help as many women as I can. And my wish is to go per ground because I feel like now, yes, I've touched, online, but we have a large part of women vasiri pa Facebook, vasiri pa social media who need the lessons that I teach. And I just feel like I think that's the next step that I really want, where I'll be making an impact on the ground. Specifically online. Even going to my rural areas and teaching about grooming and etiquette. Because those are the women wanosaririra. So I just feel like, yeah, that's where I see myself in the next coming years, making impact on the ground and in different communities, especially the less privileged communities. Because I feel like now, Shokora Famba, for the privileged women who are on social media, we now need to go background to those women who have never really come across these teachings.
Yeah, that's very powerful. And I'm glad that you've noticed that there is digital divide. There are a lot
Yes.
of people who can't access social media. There are
Mm.
a lot of people without internet. But thank
Yes.
you so much for coming. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.